The revelations of Fernando Farias Laguna, the Rear Admiral detained in Argentina for the Huachicol fiscal case, have shaken the foundations of Morena. From a detention center in Buenos Aires, Farias claims that behind this network there is not only corruption, but also an operation protected by the highest levels of power. In this video, I'll tell you exactly what he revealed. Rear Admiral Fernando Farias Laguna, accused along with his brother Manuel of operating a Huachicol fiscal network, broke his silence from a detention center in Buenos Aires after being captured in April 2026. Through an interview given to the outlet Código Magenta, the naval officer directly pointed to the top of the Mexican government, claiming that his detention is part of a political persecution to cover up the real people responsible for a wide network of corruption within the Navy. 5 of his most notable and controversial statements stand out. First of all, Fernando Farias insists that he never led any criminal network. On the contrary, he claims that he tried to report it. According to his testimony, he himself connected Rear Admiral Fernando Ruben Guerrero Alcantar with his uncle, the former Secretary of the Navy, Rafael Ojeda Duran, to hand over evidence about an internal mafia that used the Farias surname as a front. However, after that meeting, Guerrero was murdered in Manzanillo, and since then he says he realized that his life was in danger, which marked the beginning of his departure from the country. Next, Fernando points to retired Captain Miguel Angel Solano Ruiz, known as Rey Sol, as the key operator, identifying him as the real logistical and financial center of the fuel theft network. Supposedly, Solano Ruiz had placed bets in casinos for more than 52 million pesos to launder money. In addition, he is linked not only to the illegal fuel trade, but also to the movement of illicit substances and the recruitment of active Navy personnel.
Para facilitar el ingreso de...
To facilitate the entry of ships with false documentation at different customs offices. On the other hand, Farias Laguna maintains that Huachicol Fiscal is actually a state-run operation. According to the complaint, Navy personnel, politicians, gas station owners, contractors, transporters, and port concessionaires who have actually gotten rich from this business are not being investigated or facing arrest warrants. She argues that, by that logic, those in power have already decided who will take public responsibility for the case. In that sense, she insists that neither he nor his brother could have maintained a network of that magnitude without the participation or complicity of various government agencies, because the volume of illegal fuel entering through ports like Ensenada and Tampico necessarily requires high-level institutional coordination. For that reason, the Rear Admiral states that both he and Manuel Farias Laguna are simply scapegoats. Regarding this, he denied having participated in the network and accuses the government of creating media scapegoats to reduce social pressure without dismantling the real criminal scheme. In addition, she regrets that her brother remains imprisoned in the Altiplano prison despite having turned himself in voluntarily, and she maintains that the evidence against him is based solely on the testimonies of protected witnesses seeking judicial benefits. Finally, Fernando Farias claims that the Mexican judiciary is subordinated to presidential power, which prevents him from hoping for a fair trial. She reports that her legal protections were arbitrarily revoked, and that the Navy has classified key information as national security to block her defense. Thus, faced with this situation, she has requested political asylum in Argentina and even says she is willing to be extradited to the United States, where she trusts that an independent judicial system will allow the truth to come out. What do you think? Do you believe the Farias Laguna siblings are being used as scapegoats while the real culprits remain unpunished? Tell us your opinion in the comments. And if you like this video, don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell.